My name's Jeff Spicer. I'm the producer at Creā-ture Studios and working on Session Skate Sim. We're here today in Brooklyn at the Substance Skate Park for the official launch event for Session Skate Sim. We're excited to be bringing the game to the market in full release as of tomorrow, September 22nd. And even more excited as skaters to have some of our key skaters from our roster here at the event today. We're partnered with Manny Santiago, Dane Berman, and Samaria, who are all here today, and really taking the game and showing it to the influencers and media and players that'll be getting access to it tomorrow. Session Skate Sim is really a passion project. At Creā-ture Studios, we're only 9 individuals, and we saw the opportunity to really make a skate game that changed the dynamics and really took skating from an arcade simulation to a full simulation. There's no points, there's no scores. So we started 5 years ago with a basic prototype and idea, and a couple of guys in a garage pretty much grew into a studio. Our team is small, and we're hyper dedicated to skating. We really wanted to focus on what was core to making a skate sim. We wanted to recreate an homage to skating as we all found it in the 90s in its heyday after the 80s, which was really the beginning of street skating, you know, the prevalence of the popsicle-shaped skateboard, the small wheels, and really video cassettes came into the mix. You know, you've got some famous blind videos, you've got 411 Video Magazine, and they really allowed local skaters to bring themselves onto more of a global market. And that's one thing we're trying to do with our game. So we have a single player game, but we also have a really in-depth replay editor that allows you to take the content you've made and share it with our community. So that kind of ties into what we're doing here today, because skating's all about community, inclusion, and most of all, just perseverance, dedication, and learning how to better yourself and your skate tricks. So making a game that's a simulation is a bit of a catch-22. A lot of people just expect to jump in and have fun. We feel there's a lot of games on the market that provide that. We wanted something a little more genuine and honest to the perseverance and the brutality of skating. It's a beautiful, awesome art form, but it also takes a lot of grit and dedication to get it. With our true stance controller inputs, you need to take that same approach of what do I want to do? You kind of need to premeditate it and think it out before you can do it. The mix of the controllers and us being an homage to skating in the 90s means that we've really looked at what was key to city skating or street skating in the 90s. Obviously, it was mostly based in North America, so we focused on New York, Philadelphia, and San Francisco, which were the key hubs at that time. And we said, okay, in the 90s, what were the key spots? For example, Philadelphia, everyone knows Love Park, right? You've got the famous Chris Cole moves, Josh Kalis, Stevie Williams, everyone was there. It doesn't exist anymore, but what we wanted to do was give the players the opportunity to relive the heyday in the modern day of skating. So we've really taken the approach of trying to make the world one-to-one and recreating historical spots, but also providing as much for the player to do as possible without it feeling like it was made to be skated, right? Part of being a skater is looking at the world differently and understanding, like, yeah, you see a bench, I see something that I could do a backtail, big spin off and lead into a line. You look at architecture in the world a different way, and we wanted to also teach people that in the game. So we take really limited artistic liberties, and we really try to stay genuine to the environments that were around in those days. The complex control system, based with what we were able to do in the world, has given us an endless sandbox that allows you to do whatever you want within skating. Skating is a very individual activity, and it's very much style and art based. A lot of a person's individuality comes out in what they wear and how they skate. We put a fair amount of time and dedication into making sure that you as a player could feel like you were represented in the game. So not just in our roster, 16 skaters everywhere from like amateur to professional, to pros from the 90s to modern day pros. So we really tried to share the spread and love of skateboarding with the skaters in our roster, but also with you as a player, allowing you to create a skater in a skin tone that is hopefully similar to yours and a sex that matches yours, right? With those skaters, you can then go into the world and meet the pros, and they'll introduce you to their concept or their style of skating. So because we're a sandbox, you can do anything and everything off the bat, but we did want to take the pros and really try to introduce you to who they are in the game and their style of skating. So we said, Donovan, who works on our team, Donovan Strain, he liaised with Manny Santiago with Dane, and he said, okay, if we're doing missions in a game, Dane, what would you like to do? Dane would like to skate handrail, so we catered his missions in the game to what he would most likely teach you in real life and what he would be doing. So we tried to keep the essence of the skaters in the game while also allowing you to do whatever you wanted. So we don't stop you from doing anything off the bat. From the first second you're in the game, you can learn and feel everything out. Obviously, if you have experienced skating because of our true stance controls, which really kind of revolutionize how you control a skater, a knowledge of skating helps you understand and on board with them quicker. But even just with a gamer mentality of thinking about what you need to do, it's very approachable. But that perseverance and work that goes into it increases the joy and the reward you get when you land a trick. So the mixture of representing skating, representing the world that we grew up skating and that is no longer there necessarily, and allowing you to represent yourself online and through your skating, really, those three things are what come together to allow long-lasting gameplay within session and really represent the art of skating in a digital format. We've been in production for 5 years. We've been in early access on Xbox for 2 years and on Steam for 1 year. But tomorrow, September 22nd, 2022, we are releasing on Sony platforms, Microsoft platforms, and on PC full release. So we're really excited to get it into the Sony players' hands and everyone's hands with our finished version 1 product, while we're already working on what's to come after launch, but there'll be more news on that once we hit the street date.